right, what's up, everybody? George?
Count down with me, he says, and then he says one before I do.
I know, man. I fuck up the countdown every time. This fucking being in two different places. We make it work, but, you know, how you locking in Philly down, man? What's all the Eagles fans talking about up in Philly?
Who they're going to draft?
Yeah, that's just important.
That's it. I mean, there's nothing else to talk about. And what I did is I went through today and I looked at all the free agents. And Kenny Phillips is a free agent. One of the safeties from Atlanta is a free agent. Right. I hope they jump at either one of those so we don't have to draft a rookie and throw him back there.
Right.
Jake Long, I think you might be able to pick him up on the cheap due to injuries. Yeah. And there was another offensive lineman that I looked at. I was like, yeah. I mean, to me, if go after Jake Long, give him a couple $1 million and see if he can stay healthy. If not, cut him.
Yeah, well, they're not going to release Vic. They've said that.
Yeah, that's fucking retarded.
That's pretty crazy.
Well, the other thing, and I'm going to tell you straight up, but after watching a college coach come to someone's team straight out of college, and then he immediately started signing his ex-players, got me nervous. When I saw Dennis Dixon is going to be signing with the Eagles, and I'm like, Jesus Christ, why?
Right.
I was like, he got picked in the 980th round, and he's a practice player for the Steelers. There is a reason. And I'm like, please, do not do this. And it's bad news. If Chip Kelly starts bringing in his old players, and he's telling Deshaun Jackson he's going to be like LaMichael James. James probably has 40 or 50 pounds on Deshaun Jackson.
That's right. Now, enough of the fucking Eagles. We got to talk about what happened this past Sunday.
My bad, hope and a prayer.
Anyway, Super Bowl 47 is over with. The Baltimore Ravens
have come and passed.
What'd you say?
Have come and passed.
Is come and passed. The Baltimore Ravens are the 2012-2013 world champions.
The dude for the 49ers, like the tight end, the black dude, not Vernon Davis. Like he was also playing fullback. I think he wore 40. I think he wore 46. Did you see what happened?
No.
I think his aunt and his dad, or his mom and his dad, got killed by a drunk driver the morning after the Super Bowl.
Are you serious?
Yeah. But what I found strange about it is they were pulled over to the side of the road on a shoulder when they got hit by a drunk driver. It was crazy. I couldn't believe it happened. Somebody out there will see it. It's not, I mean, it just, I was floored.
Wow, man. That's some fucked up luck, huh?
Yeah,
but
keep going.
Anyway,
Delaney Walker.
Delaney Walker, really?
His aunt and Delaney Walker. His aunt and uncle were killed in a car accident the morning after the Super Bowl.
Oh man,
their car was pulled over on the shoulder, and some drunk heifer was driving home and down the shoulder. I'm like, dog, why were you driving down the shoulder for? And just plowed into their car.
That's fucked up. Well, my condolences go out to his family, man. Okay. That's like fucked up. I didn't even hear about that. You know?
Yeah, I read it. It's on ESPN.
Anyway, moving on back to the Super Bowl.
For you people out there who think the power outage didn't have anything to do with the momentum swing, you're out of your fucking minds.
Oh yeah, it definitely happened. You're just it's because this is the thing the Ravens were doing, and I think it's more on the Ravens' fault. Like I thought they were so far ahead, and it was like they were just going for the kill. And then it's like,
yeah, they went into coast mode. They decided to start running on first and second down, which they didn't do the entire first half of the game. They were coming out passing on those downs to set up third and short.
Yeah.
And then Flacco all of a sudden, dude, to complete a 3rd and 9 or anywhere like 3rd and 7 and higher, that's tough.
Yeah, that is tough, man. And it's just the play calling seemed to change tremendously after the blackout. They got cool. I guess they were like, okay, we're up. We can slow it down. But until that point, they were playing so aggressively. They had got the return from Jacoby Jones all the way, they put him up another 7 points, and then they were looking at a third. They had the San Francisco 49ers at 3rd and 13, and it's like, you know what? They're going to hold them, get the ball back, and they're going to fucking it's going to be a dagger from here. But that power outage just seemed like it changed their game plan,
And then somebody on the sideline told Ray Rice his elbows was a little dusty, so he threw on the cocoa butter. And the next thing you know, he's fumbling the ball. I'm like, what are you doing?
It was fucked up.
Not that I was, and let's face it, I wasn't cheering for either team to win. I just wanted to see a good game.
Yes.
And I was like, oh, wow, it's a blowout.
Now, with that being said,
it turned into a game that should have been way too close.
The other thing that we saw was the 49ers all of a sudden said, you know what? Let's start using what got us here. Kaepernick, he's going to get that, so we're going to start letting him scramble. And when they started doing that, you're like, oh, shit. And I'm thinking, okay,
dude, what was up with Kaepernick in the beginning of the game handing the ball off to the wrong side?
I was like, yeah, what the
Like,
fuck
what was he doing?
Right.
He's play faking. I was like, he's play faking to ghost, like a ghost runner. I'm like, what are you doing?
Right. It was crazy. I mean, it's. I just didn't understand, and that why they didn't utilize Kaepernick a little bit more, because it's like, I mean, and I will say this though about Kaepernick. I was very surprised because I just got in with somebody on the comment board. He was talking about Kaepernick's got a good deep ball, and I'm like, yeah, it's not accurate yet, but I will say this: the passes he threw at the Super Bowl were pretty fucking accurate. So kind of,
yeah, he made some thorough throws, but I mean, it'll be interesting when Kaepernick can go back and throw the ball 30 or 40 times,
right?
And you really have to respect his arm, because I think what the Ravens did was smart. They basically tried to get up the field, keep him in between the tackles, and get him to throw. Because with his delivery coming from a baseball background, it's at a higher trajectory.
Yeah.
It's not at the ear like you're taught.
Yep.
So and then when you get amped up and you throw it hard, it will sail on you, and that's
Yeah.
And dude, I don't give a shit what you say. Papa Smurf, aka Ed Reed, has sonar for the ball. That dude knows where the ball is at 99% of the time.
I fucking agree with you. He is, man. People can say he's old, he's losing it. Let me tell you something. He's always where he's like Troy Polamalu. They're both the same way. They both tend to be around.
No, he's not, because Troy Polamalu doesn't even get on the field. That Bama gets hurt.
Let's say
that dude gets hurt getting
Troy
out of bed.
3 years ago. How about that? But
yeah, he was like 8 years ago when he was still at USC.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah,
one thing is that was very impressed with the Ravens. They shut Frank Gore down, man. At that first half, they shut him down. They're like, you know what? Okay, Colin, your turn to try. And I think that's what shied them away from running, so they went to the pass.
Well,
but
what also helped with the run game is Haloti Ngata went out with a apparent knee injury, which, I mean, I haven't heard much of, much after, so it couldn't have been that serious. But I don't think the Ravens will even come close to sniffing the Super Bowl next year, let alone if they make it to the playoffs, they'll be a very low seed.
Yeah, I'm really curious to see how much Ray Lewis's influence, his motivation and stuff plays out, because we will see that. We see a tremendous drop off.
And they're talking about the cap casualties might be Jacoby Jones and Anquan Bolden. You take those two out of the game, and the Ravens don't win.
No, they don't.
Dude, that one catch Anquan Bolden had was sick.
Yeah, he was. You know what? He was really fucking balling on Super Bowl, man. He was snatching shit out of the air, putting his feet down. He was playing aggressive. He was in those fucking corners' faces, and they were like, you could see he was frustrating them. You know what I mean? So his play was definitely important and instrumental in them winning that game. Now, with moving away from the Super Bowl, since that's some old news, talk about some big things. One of the big things that's happened in New York Giant land is they basically released Ahmad Bradshaw. They're like, see you, bye.
Yeah, and a defensive end. But for the rest of us football nuts, today was National Signing Day.
Oh, yeah.
And I think the biggest news comes out of the running back from Florida, who is like half a mile to a couple miles away from the Miami University,
right,
and doesn't want to sign with them. He goes to sign with Arkansas. His mom shows up at the school, jacks his papers, and hightails it so he can't sign his letter of intent to go play at Arkansas.
Are you fucking serious?
As a heart attack, shorty. She wants her boy to stay in state and go to Miami. He's like, I want to go to Arkansas where they run the ball. And I don't know how up on the news that this young man's mom is, but University of Miami's getting ready to catch some sanctions,
right,
and they won't be bowl eligible till 2085.
Yeah. That's wow, man. I mean, sometimes you let their parents dictate nuts. Shit, just fucking fuck them up, man.
Yeah, and the number one kid in Domino Niche or Mbaka Duke
or whatever. Defensive end.
Yeah, he's going to Ole Miss to play with his brother. Dude, let me tell you, these kids by age only, 6'5", 265 pounds. Come on, man. I ain't never seen no one in high school like that. I mean, what high school you going to?
This kid is so highly sought. I mean, it's like it was the only thing that you're talking about on ESPN today, and and all your sports mediums basically talking about this kid, and it's like he's just one of these fucking freakish kids, skilled, big, has the physique, and Ole Miss.
So anybody want to take a guess at what team I'm taking in NCAA 2014 this year? Yeah, Ole Miss, and I'm starting at Bama.
Anyway, man, it does look good for Ole Miss. He was also thinking about going to Florida, I think, and where else?
Florida, LSU. He was going to go to any of them. Originally, he was signed to Clemson, and he told Clemson he wanted him and like two of his buddies to come.
Right.
And Clemson was like, I don't know about all that. So he was like, then I'm not going.
Yeah. I would have been like, sure, bring them all over here, Anyway,
yeah,
guys.
So I don't know. I don't think I would have picked Ole Miss, but then again, if I had a brother who was playing second string as a freshman at Ole Miss, maybe I got a shot to do something. I mean, have we ever seen a brother tandem on the same side of the ball in college dominate?
I don't. Now I'm thinking of somebody. It was brothers that were really good. Anyway,
and by brothers, you don't mean two black guys, right?
No, not real true brothers. Okay. I'm thinking, it's just going to drive me crazy. That were brothers that were played on the same team that were really fucking good. Somebody, if you guys can think of that, put it in the comment board.
Well, that's a good question. You guys come up and tell us, are there any brother combos in any collegiate sports that have played together?
Right.
And dominated.
And put that shit on the comment board.
And don't tell us about some tall-ass white people out in California playing water polo.
Yeah, fuck that.
Let's keep it to the main sports. Basketball, football, and basketball and football.
Yeah, basketball and football. I think we keep it there. And baseball, I guess. Well, you could say that.
Basketball and football are good.
Yeah, I think basketball and football is more challenging. Let's keep it at that. Yeah. Fuck that shit. We're out.